What is going on, everyone? It's your guy, Cole Jackson, back here on Road Graders, and we are back in the film room. We haven't gotten to do film in a couple months, so looking forward to doing this, cutting this up with you guys, and we're going to be answering the question, what does Deandre Hopkins bring to this team based on the film from last year, where obviously he had a bit of a down year in terms of not only usage, but snap counts and production, of course. Added context to that before we kind of dive into it. I had personally kind of forgot about this, so I don't know if other people were as aware, given he was kind of on the lowly Titans. But DeAndre Hopkins had that MCL tear in July, and it was a grade 3 MCL tear. So slow start to the season, not only in terms of production, but in terms of snap count. So if you go look at the weekly snap counts, 1, 2, 3, 4 for weeks 1 through 4, 27, 44, 46, and 32% of the snaps played. So he just was working back from that injury. Obviously, on a team like Tennessee, he's going to be a top used receiver. It's just him and Kelvin Ridley, really. So I would have expected him in that 80% range. So that's got to factor into this because didn't have a full training camp, never really got to a point where he wasn't probably working through injury. Not trying to give him excuses, and we'll kind of see some of the highs and lows of the film. But I think it's added context that we need to be aware of. So obviously played through the season. Now he has a full off season to rehab and get back to 100. So looking forward to seeing that. One of the things I'm going to talk about, because it really factors into usage, is if you look at his slot percentage usage, they're about the same between his time in Tennessee and his time in KC, around 22 to 28%. But the one thing that really stood out to me were where he was aligned on the field when he was getting targets. In Kansas City, a lot of those targets came from slot alignments. In Tennessee, a lot of those came as an outside wide receiver. He's an X receiver. He's one of those guys that you ISO top of and we'll see it here in a minute. Obviously, he did a little bit of this everywhere, but I noticed in his Kansas City film, when he was getting targets, a lot of it was coming from the slot. I'm not sure how much that usage will translate to the Ravens. I don't think, obviously they'll use him in bunches and whatnot, but I think he's going to really be that kind of guy they isolate at the top of the field as an X, and create those one-on-one matchups. So let's dive into the film. We're going to break it into about 4 things. We're going to look at his usage in the red zone, because all 6 of his touchdowns came from 11 yards or closer to the goal line. We're going to take a look at his route running, his contested catch or tough catch ability, his hands, and the 4th is his ability against zone. If you guys are looking forward to this, hit that like button for me. Hit subscribe if you're new here. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of this edition. So let's start here with these red zone snaps. We'll take a look at 5 of his 6 touchdowns. The 6th one was he just kind of got lost in coverage. It's not really anything to write home about. So obviously ISO top of your screen against Eric Stokes. And this is really what Nuke does so well, right? He's just one of those guys that can just box you out. And this is a skill set that the Ravens have needed forever. Nuke used to do this all the time. This is what he can still do. And this is what he can bring, because what I want you guys to imagine is you have this set up, the defense is matching you this way, but then in this bunch to the bottom, they have Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews. Zay Flowers is about to motion, but that's Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. So it's just the way they can create those matchups. It just, what it does is it firms up that one-on-one for DeAndre Hopkins, and he has that ability. You can see it in his release here. He just puts hands on, boxes out, plays bigger football. That's a skill set the Ravens have needed forever. This touchdown he had in the Super Bowl, this is, added context. This is coming late in the game, garbage time. They're playing soft cover 2 here. He's against Quinyon Mitchell at the top of your screen, but same idea. I mean, right there, you can see him kind of catch Quinyon Mitchell slipping there a little bit. But how into it is the defense right now, I'm not sure, but nice catch there. And again, just making those plays ISO'd in the red zone, that to me is a key. Again, bottom of your screen here on the line of scrimmage, ISO. They're using them really well in the red zone. Using these, this is the types of looks he can get. The Chargers are matching this with a cover 2 look, and you can see their corners offline, right? So they're lining up in what I would call red 2, where it's kind of that soft cover 2, Tampa 2 style, but in the red zone. And one thing that I noticed with Hopkins and Mahomes is how they ID'd those types of coverages. So you're going to see as he comes off the line of scrimmage, cornerback backs off, and then Nuke just sits in right there. And not a whole lot here from a route running perspective. This is all just the mental side. Mahomes and Hopkins see this immediately. The ball comes right in, and he just slips into the end zone. That's the type of stuff that he brings, that type of vet ability. But then you get this type of man beater, bottom of your screen. Again, ISO, top of your. You guys are seeing a trend here of how you can use him in the red zone. Watch him cook on this slant. He's just going to hit. And the explosiveness off his plant foot right there. That's like, that isn't a washed receiver. Washed receivers can't explode like this. So this is the stuff that I think, yes, be excited about, because that's how do you defend that? Like when he's able to still do this, and we'll see some of his releases here against press. It's what made him such an elite receiver. I don't know if he's going to still be that elite guy. I mean, probably not as he's getting up there, but he can still do these things to contribute to this offense. And so here you're going to see him stacked up. This was a little bit, got him in the bunch here. He's just going to run an in-breaking route again against zone. You see him get lost there, middle of the end zone for the touchdown. The other touchdown was kind of similar to that. So nothing really to write home against there or about there, but consistent theme there of his ability to beat man, his ability to play big, and his ability to read zone. Those three things are really my takeaways watching his film. Watch some of his routes now, and you'll kind of see it. He has a couple of really good ones against Patrick Surtain that I was pretty excited about because that's one-on-one press looks. So you're going to see him at the top of your screen here in the Jets game. And this is just that in-breaking route where you can see that explosiveness I'm talking about. You see right there. Just that. And then that catch, right? So these are the type of balls right there. You see how he has to extend. I mean, like these are throws that we've seen receivers not make in Baltimore for a long time because Nuke right there, you can see that extension. Look how high up his hands are. That's just the type of receiver he's been his whole career, and he's still got a little bit of that in his film. I threw this one in because this should have been another red zone touchdown. And again, you see the ISO here, but you see how they have the slot here. Or the safety coming down and kind of cheating over top of him to give a little bit of that look, right? So that's what he can do. And you're going to see right here, burn sauce. And he's got that whole end zone open, but you can see right here, Will Levis is in a back pedal. Might be Rudolph. I don't know which quarterback it is. See right here, see that pressure come up the middle. So as Nuke is going to break this, and you can see his face or the direction of his face mask, he is looking for Nuke to break this open. And off of his route running, he creates that space, but he has to take that extra step back and he throws it out, like gets it to Hopkins, but it's just too late, right? So if he's able to keep that on time, that's another touchdown. But his ability to break off at the stem, and really specifically what I'm looking at from a player evaluation perspective is as he plants his foot to break the route or to make the cut, he still has that explosiveness. And when you see washed receivers, they're not able to create that separation. Nuke's never been that type of guy that's going to, be 3 yards between, but he can break with his releases. And that's what we're kind of seeing through some of these red zone targets. Top of your screen here. Again, lined up as an X. See right here. Kind of takes some ankles there. Late ball, bad ball, pretty consistent. But again, this is what I'm talking about. So he's going to work, and you can see it right here. So he's getting off-man coverage here from the corner. And what he's going to do is he's going to press inside. So as he presses inside, you're going to see a skip step right there. See that skip step? And that gets the corner to commit, and then he explodes back outside, and that's what creates the separation. So his ability to explode off that plant foot still very much there, seeing it pretty consistently throughout the year, which I think is pretty exciting. Now we're going to get into those reps. There's back-to-back reps here against Patrick Surtain in the game Kansas City versus Denver, bottom of your screen. Quick hitches here, but able to create. This was the best. Was he defensive player of the year? Was he? I think so. Able to create that separation against, the best corner in NFL this year. See right there, stutter step, tough catch. Just a quick hitch, nothing crazy, but you can see that ability in his release to match up with the best of them. Top of your screen here, see that push off, first down. That was on third down too. So his ability to create that separation against Surtain, and you can see physicality, off press right there. His ability to come back, explode, run routes, still very much there. Looks good. It's not that high level production, but we don't need that here in Baltimore. You're going to see a nice double move here, bottom of your screen, right there. There's that double move, and then a big gain. That was against a bit of a nobody corner, so context note there. but that is the type of stuff that he was able to do this year. So he can still run routes. He can still kind of, break some guys' ankles, which I think is pretty exciting. It's all going to be about how they use them. I think if I've taken anything away, and we'll kind of see it in some of the zone coverage reps where he's playing in the slot, I think ideally we keep him as that ISO man, as an X. The skill set that we've needed in Baltimore since Anquan Bolden. That's the type of stuff I want to see. Top of your screen here, we're going to take a look at some of the tough catches in this clip. Goes the snap, and then you kind of see right there, like his route running, his release. See the quick feet there? Doesn't create a whole lot of separation. And this is what I mean. So there's going to be plays like this, but he's able to cut inside on a slant. And again, you see the first down markers at 41 yard line, and he's going to cross it there. So that's making a big catch at the sticks. He's just going to work himself inside leverage. There's not a ton of separation there, but it's enough for Nuke to make that catch because he's got the surest hands in the NFL. 3.5% drop rate in his career. Absurd. So he's able to run those routes, right? So here we're going to get this is a good example of that slot route or slot alignment that I was talking about. So he's bunched here, bottom of your screen. And I think we see him work over the middle here. Yeah. And then he works downfield. That's right. This is that big catch against the Bucks. So this is that ball tracking ability. So as he kind of cuts in here, they eat down on that. You can see Mahomes being pressured. So he goes into a scramble drill as he tries to get open, and then he just throws one up to Nuke. And he comes down with it. And I mean, it's one of those things where you throw it up to Nuke, and he's one of the few receivers that's going to track that, because that's the key to this. Wasn't necessarily the contested catch. Look at him track that ball all the way down, get under it with three guys on him, a safety coming over top. That ball concentration, keeping his eye on the ball, all very, very clean in this one. Another rep here. See him just come over top there, take the contact at the end, but able to secure that ball through contact. That's what Nuke has done so well his career, making those types of catches. See it right here. This I threw in because this isn't a contested catch, but it's just high ball to the sideline. So you see that outbreaking route. And then again, there's that extension, right? So these are the types of balls tipping off Ravens receivers' fingers, right? Like how many times have we seen that? And this is a guy that can make those plays on the sideline. That's one of the areas we've been trying to, it's been an opportunity for the Ravens for a long time. And to have a guy like Deandre Hopkins that can step in and make those plays at the sideline, those outbreaking routes, one-on-ones, as teams, that's really been the strategy. Play cover 3, try and keep the ball in front of you, stack the box to limit Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in that run game. But it creates those opportunities at the sideline, right? So a guy like Nuke that can not only run routes like that, but also make those tough catches that are higher difficulty at the sideline. Very important. Concentration to keep your feet in, all those good things, all those traits that you want to see from top receivers. Nuke making those plays just last year. Top of your screen here. Again, there's that. Going to get that contested catch look, that ball tracking. This was a Brandon Stevens rep from the corner, so he's got his back to the ball, but you see Nuke as he's working downfield. See right there, it's kind of blurry. He's got his eye cleanly on the ball as it's going to come in. Doesn't have to get up. It's not one of those contested catches where he's high pointing the ball, but it's one of those plays where he's tracking the ball downfield and his eyes never seem to come off of it. That's one of the things he does so well when he's being used deep. It's that ball tracking ability and that ability to get his hands on it and use his hands technique. One of the best hands guys in the league. See Nuke here. I believe it's bottom of your screen. Yeah, this is against Denzel Ward. So again, just one of those in tight situations where, and where's the marker? I think we'll see it when he catches it here. No, it's not first down. I thought it was. I saw that marker. See right there, just get it into him. But you can see throws back shoulder here. You can see it right there. The ball is kind of floating over the 25-yard line. Ward's coming right across, right through, staying in phase, working through his catch point. But Nuke's concentration to keep his hands on that ball. Again, just not something we see from Ravens wide receivers, and we haven't for a while. In the slot here, bottom, see him getting physical, inward breaking route, almost first down there on that one. So again, just tough catches over the middle. That's something Nuke can do. ISO at the bottom of the screen here. And again, sideline throw. So exactly what I'm talking about. So you can see it here. This is against the Texans. So they're just playing cover one here. They got a pretty heavy box. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the box. They got a deep safety, and then they're just playing man. There's just cover one behind it. So he's just going to play man up here. And again, it creates that one-on-one opportunity here as they stack that box, bring some pressure, and Nuke able to come back to the ball and make a play like that. Rare things that good receivers do, a skill set that has been badly needed in Baltimore. We saw Zay Flowers do a little bit of that sideline work last year. Just obviously a smaller guy, right? So you get the bigger body in Nuke. That hasn't been Rashad Bateman's game, especially at the sideline specifically. He's been more of that kind of intermediate in-breaking route guy that can work the middle of the field. Obviously, we've seen him do some good things deep. So again, complementary skill set that they don't have on the roster right now, working those sidelines, working those routes. Off-man coverage here from the Chargers. I can see him just kind of eat that up and get in with it. Oh, wait, no, these are the ones I want. Wait, hold on. Yeah, no. Okay, so I've always promised you guys. Sorry, I want to go back to this one. I thought he caught it. He didn't. And that's the point. I always want to be honest with you guys because I want you guys to see the full thing. There were plays like this on his film where, he's gonna have that opportunity, right? He's red zone really well here. Ball's coming into him, and there's that high point on the ball, and he doesn't secure it. Drop ball right at the 1 yard line. So there was plays last year where I called them low lights, just where didn't make good play on the ball, was in a good opportunity, but didn't complete the play. And so I don't want to hide those from you guys. I want them to be fully out there. I don't know if you necessarily call them a drop. This one we're about to watch here in the Super Bowl. This was the one at the end of halftime. You're going to see him break open to the wide side from the bottom bunch. See right there, breaking across the 45-yard line. And he just slips and drops it, right? So there were plays like that. I accidentally threw this one in twice. So there are plays like that on his film, and I want that to be fully transparent. And we'll just rewatch this one, I guess, where he's just not making those plays. And so that's my big question: was that a sign? Was that a sign of something, or was it just he's out of rhythm? He's not playing a lot. How much is he going to have to adjust to not being a consistent player, in that regard? But there's definitely plays like that. So I just wanted you guys to be able to see those and see that they exist, because people are throwing the clips up or throwing commentary on Twitter or, other places where folks are talking about the addition. And, I think it's overblown because it's really, I think I could have showed 3 clips and I grabbed 2. It's pretty small. He had 87 targets and really only a couple of them are bad. So, I wouldn't be overly concerned about that, but they definitely are out there and they exist. Now, Nuke against zone. That's one thing that I think fits really well in this offense, because Lamar Jackson sees a lot of zone to try and limit his scramble ability, limit his legs, and again, take that approach of keeping the ball in front of you, because he's really feasted on man coverage. And so, we need a guy that can read zone, sit into the soft spots, and be able to do all those things. And you can kind of see it here. It was similar to that one touchdown I showed earlier, and you're going to see Nuke break open, and Mahomes ends up scrambling out right, but he's wide open. Look, he's just going to stand there with his arms waving. And now, again, similar to the comment we just ended on. So Mahomes is going to come back and go do him. And there he is. He's going to get up for that ball. And he just isn't able to secure it. A little high on that one. So again, those aren't being caught or classified as drops, because, it's a high point ball and it kind of went off of his fingertips. So it's when he's jumping and high pointing and it's going off his fingertips, it's, I think, what they're deeming uncatchable. But again, those plays do exist. It was a play like that is something that I just feel like Nuke 5 years ago makes. So again, those plays exist, but his ability to sit into soft spots of zone is ridiculous. You see it consistently on his tape. Top of your screen here, you're going to see him and Patrick Mahomes just identify this, right? So you see the slot corner take those 2 steps inside. So as soon as the slot corner takes those 2 steps, wide corner sitting in soft here over top of the 40, and he just sits in and grabs that, right? So that little identification, that football IQ, all very high level things. He's going to work outside here. And again, just sit into that soft spot, right? Up and get that ball. So consistently able to do this against zone. You're going to see it on his Tennessee film. He's right here on the line of scrimmage in the bunch that Ridley just motioned into. See right there, he's just going to sit into that soft zone and just make an easy catch there. So his ability to do that is very clean. You see right here against Miami, identifies that zone coverage, finds a soft spot, sits in it, easy catch, first down. So consistently doing that right here against Green Bay, same thing. He's going to sit into that middle of the field and just create an easy target in between kind of 3-4 defenders. So overall, this is some pretty good film. I mean, it's to be honest, seeing some of the reactions, seeing people call him cooked. I think a lot of that is he had that really bad play in the Super Bowl, and a lot of people watch the Super Bowl. And so that's kind of what they get focused on. But I think you can see the traits. I think I identified 4 things that I think he brings to this team, 4 very clear things that are a need in Baltimore. So really looking forward to that. I think this is just one of those situations where you add a complementary skill set to what you already have, creates another weapon, another matchup for this offense to expose. I trust Todd Monken to be able to design an offense to expose it, and I trust Lamar Jackson to be able to deliver that ball. If you guys enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button for me. Hit subscribe if it's your first time here, and obviously drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of the signing. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other. Peace out, everyone.